every ending, there's always a beginning. And I'm looking forward to this beginning.
I like seeing the implosion, but I didn't like seeing the sands go down. I remember a lot of great times there.
It's just sad that the last part of the old Las Vegas is going down.
The price of progress, a new tomorrow at the cost of yesteryear.
But if you've got to go, go out with a bang. A send-off fitting of Las Vegas.
This is a News 13 special presentation with Ken Hamilton and Kathy Ray, and live reports from Mark Sayre, Allison McCarthy, Steve Krupe, Michael Gieser, Robin Burke, and Mark Martinez in Live Chopper 13. Now, News 13 presents the Aladdin Implosion.
Right now, you are looking at a live picture from one of our exclusive implosion cameras, this one mounted on the Aladdin's penthouse balcony. It's the hotel where Elvis was married, the hotel that Wayne Newton once owned a piece of. Welcome to this special News 13 broadcast. I'm Kathy Ray.
And I'm Ken Hamilton. We have live continuous coverage and camera angles you won't see anywhere else. A total of 22 cameras on and around the Aladdin Tower. During our hour-long program, you'll see implosion views from the building itself. Now, this is hallway cam looking through the doors of the penthouse suite on the 17th floor. And then our exclusive roof cam will give you a view from outside that hallway looking to the southwest with the Las Vegas Strip in the background.
Our reporters are virtually everywhere tonight, from high above to ground zero. First, let's go up to Live Chopper 13, Mark Martinez. We are less than a half hour away from the blast. How do things look from up there right now?
Boy, Kathy, you can really tell the crowds are starting to show up, and you can actually feel the excitement even up here in Live Chopper 13. Look at all the people that have gathered now on the strip. NHP and Metro have closed the strip down now, and everyone is jockeying for a good position. You could see people running to the front of the line as soon as they close the strip off, literally to try and be the first ones up there against the police tape. They have now closed the strip in front of the Aladdin, and earlier we were told they would allow people to be on the west side of the strip to watch this, but that's not going to happen. They've actually closed this basically from between Flamingo and Tropicana, so you're going to be stuck in those areas if you're trying to get around here. But again, you can see with Zoom Cam tonight, thousands of people have shown up to watch this. Traffic a real mess right now, especially on the strip anywhere around Flamingo and Tropicana, so keep that in mind. The highways are also backing up with people who waited to the last minute to try and get down here for a good view of all this. But again, you could feel the excitement down there tonight as all these people turn out to watch this historic event. Now, over the weekend, the winds were a problem. Let's check in with News 13's chief meteorologist, Ted Texter, to see how things are down on ground level tonight.
Mark, just as you tossed to me, I feel a little bit of a breeze coming out of the southeast. It feels like our wind indicator on the scene is indicating a south to east breeze at about 1 to 2 miles per hour. Little puffs of wind have been coming on through. The prowl cars, the cops on bikes have been clearing the streets. We've seen the last minute preparations going on here at Ground Zero. The cameras are all being covered. We all have our gear. We're ready for the implosion and the dust that will be coming right now. I think the dust will probably head over towards Monte Carlo. In fact, right now, let me take you over to Polo Towers, where Mark Sayre and Allison McCarthy are on the 12th floor with a bird's eye view.
We are indeed, Ted, and we have hairspray in tonight, so even if the winds do pick up, we should be okay for you. As Ted said, we are on the 12th floor of the Polo Towers. From up here, we can see the crowds literally filling every crevice. If there is a spot for them to be, that is where they are. Trust us.
The streets are filled, and also the skies are filled. Mark Martinez isn't the only one that has a bird's eye view from up there. Lots of choppers have been going by over the last few minutes. I am just thrilled that this is the first implosion I get to cover in the field. I've always been back at the studio. My adrenaline is pumping.
You believe me, her adrenaline is pumping. You can't wait to see what her reaction it is. News 13, of course, the only station with a crew actually inside the blast zone.
News 13 Steve Krupe is down there about as close as any human being can safely be. Steve, how's it look?
It looks great, Allison. We are indeed inside the blast zone. Hard hat required. A filter mask will be going on, as well as goggles a little later, with 800 pounds of dynamite in the building. The danger where we're standing is extreme. Take a look at what we expect to happen when it goes. Blasts throughout the building, first on the bottom and then through the middle. And then there'll be a dramatic pause as the building hangs and then begins to collapse and fall towards the south, something like that. And believe me, when it goes, you will feel it in your gut out here. We are so close, they won't let me stand here. Next time I talk to you, I will have to move over here and take cover behind that building. That's just how dangerous it is here in the blast zone. Let's go now to News 13's Michael Gieser, who's out on the strip with the public. Michael.
Okay, Steve, thanks. They're lined up and ready to go. We're at the Country Star restaurant in the back parking lot, and it is absolutely packed. Take a look for yourselves. People have rented chairs, they've bought food, a little beer, and this is it. The best seat in the house. Now, we have 22 cameras to bring you the action tonight, but one we'll be showing throughout the evening is Roof Cam. It's a camera located on top of the building, and if the building had eyes, this is what it would see, the strip right in front of it. Now, we have no idea how long the shot will last, but that's part of the fun. Some of the shots go directly to black, some are priceless, and we hope to bring you a few priceless shots tonight. Now, if you're coming down to the Country Star, you're being asked to park at the Holiday Inn or the Monte Carlo, which is next door, and then walk over, and if you do that, you will be set. And speaking of people who are set, let's check in with Robin Burke, who is hanging out with the VIPs tonight. Robin?
That's right, Mike. We are at the VIP tent. We are just outside of it. I'm going to tell you what's going on inside there in just a minute. But the reason that this is such a special place to view the implosion is because it is the closest unobstructed view possible. Look how close we are. We are just on the other side of the Aladdin Theater, and just beyond that, a clear shot of the building that will be soon imploded. Now, the other reason that this is such a special place, you can stay inside the tent. You can see through this plastic right here, and you don't have to get any dust on your hair or clothing. And of course, an auction is going on inside, and that's the special reason that the VIP tent is here, because it will benefit Make-A-Wish Foundation. And later, I will model my survival kit. Ken and Kathy, back to you safe and sound in the studio.
All right, thanks a lot, Robin. Boy, it's an incredible night. As you can see, we have a lot of angles to watch this implosion.
22.
And as soon as the old Aladdin comes down, a new one will start going up.
The Aladdin name, however, will survive in the form of a $1.3 billion resort. Much of the Aladdin's original design is captured in plans for the new hotel tower. It will be 5 times bigger than the old hotel, featuring a huge shopping mall as well. A separate Planet Hollywood casino is also in the works. The new Aladdin is set to open in the year 2000. Now back to a live picture from our exclusive balcony cam. It is about T-minus and maybe 18 minutes or so and counting. News 13's coverage of the Aladdin implosion continues in just a moment.
Looking at a live picture from our exclusive hallway cam. Now, the building itself is 21 years old. The original Aladdin opened 31 years ago.
And in just a few minutes, we expect it to be around 7:27 or so. It will all be rubble. Now let's go back out to News 13's Mark Sayer and Allison McCarthy. This is my 4th implosion. They have been on the air for every single implosion since this trend began. What pros you guys are?
Oh, it's just so exciting. We don't know what to do with ourselves. Actually, this is going to be the 6th implosion. Some people are saying it's only 5, but don't forget the dunes had 2 towers. The one, of course, went down in the big ball of fireworks, and the other one was the middle of the night at 2 a.m., more like just an industrial implosion. The public wasn't invited, and it was a much lower key event.
I think people forget about that.
Yeah, they do.
All of them were spectacular, some more spectacular than others, but they all had their very special characteristics. It all began when the dunes came tumbling down in October of '93. The dunes became dust with fireworks and fiery explosions. The tower literally became a wall of flame as it crashed to the ground. 8 months later, the second Dunes Tower was demolished. And now, 4 years later, the Bellagio Hotel is getting ready to open where the dunes once stood.
Fire.
The Landmark Hotel would become the next to die. Sheared in half, the futuristic tower collapsed directly onto our camera. A parking lot is all that replaced the Landmark. Then this was the view from the top floor of the Sands when it came down in November of '96. It will be replaced by the Venetian. And the last to go was the Hacienda on New Year's Eve in 1996. Mandalay Bay is the modern mega resort now going up in its place.
That is the last to go until about 15 minutes from now, until the Aladdin goes down. Take a good look. This is the last time you are going to see it standing in the form that it's in today.
Everybody's bragging about their camera angle. I think we really have the best, boy. I mean, we've got such a clear, unobstructed view of it there. And while the Aladdin may just be concrete and steel beams to the engineers who are about to blow it up, it is a lifetime of memories for many of the longtime employees.
Yeah, employees like 20-year bartender Terry Jones, who has been a bartender there for 20 years. Let's listen to what he had to say.
I was the Employee of the Month. Evel Knievel came in and autographed this personally because we were good friends. It says to my pal, Terry, are you nuts? That's what he always calls.
Terry Jones still laughs at some of the memories and is touched by others.
And here's one of my letters from one of my customers, and fortunately at the time her dad had just passed, and we were real good friends, and they sent me a letter and just to tell me about it.
His Employee of the Month plaque is still shiny, and so is the smile in his official ID photo. But the Las Vegas native is also nostalgic.
Yeah. I'm real sad because it was one of the last of the Vegas original hotels, and it's a beautiful location. It was a nice hotel. $3, baby.
Terry managed to smile to the very end.
Yeah, I don't know why.
We caught up with him his last day on the job.
It's going to hurt because, you know, this is like, you know, my home, you know, and I love the place. It hurts because you get to a point that it's not only a place where you work, it's like a part of your life. And I would go there sick. I would go there if I stayed up all night or something, went to a party, but I still would go to work because it was a part of my life. One devoted employee there, and you saw his Aladdin badge. He says he takes that around as he's looking for full-time work at other casinos at this point to let him know that he was let go because the hotel was being blown up. Nothing he can do about that.
Right, exactly. You can certainly understand the nostalgia. We're going to be back with you in a little bit, but let's take it 14 floors below to Robin Burke, who is standing by live at the VIP tent. Robin.
Well, Allie and Mark, there are still a few Aladdin employees working right down to implosion day inside there in the VIP tent. And it's only appropriate that even in the end, there's a place for the VIPs. Back in the 70s, the opening of the tower was strictly a star-studded event. The Aladdin lamp, the signature of the new tower expansion, was like the grand opening all over again. With Hollywood stars like the glamorous Ginger, Tina Louise from Gilligan's Island, Christopher and Linda Day George, and Hutch, David Soul. Character actors from almost every popular TV series of the time made the invitation-only event. And everything from the entertainment to the seating arrangements went along with the theme. The tower at the time was one of the tallest buildings on the Strip. Today, the symbol of the 70s Strip expansion is in the Neon Museum, safe from demolition, and soon, just a reminder of another Aladdin in another time. Now, we just heard the 10-minute siren. We are about 9 minutes away to blast off. Now, the Aladdin will be remembered for a lot of special people, a lot of special events. One in particular historical event happened here May 1st, 1967. And to tell us all about it is Michael Geezer, a day that was fit for a king. Michael.
No, you're absolutely right, Robin. May 1st, 1967, the day Elvis and Priscilla Presley tied the knot, and they did it right here at the Aladdin. Now, the room where the couple got hitched will be reduced to rubble in just a matter of minutes, but the history, like the king himself, lives on. Room 246, a place etched into the history books thanks to Elvis Presley. The king and his queen, Priscilla, were married at the Aladdin almost 31 years ago to the day. A copy of their marriage certificate still hangs on the wall. The Presleys held their reception downstairs in what later became a cafeteria. For years, room 246 remained off limits to guests, until the Rosencrantzes from Michigan pleaded with the hotel to let them in.
Room 246.
And the hotel did.
In September of 1996, the Michigan couple exchanged vows in front of the same curtains and under the same chandelier as the Presleys.
Oh, it's awesome. I get goosebumps being in this room. And just to be the first one to be standing in the same place as Elvis and Priscilla is just awesome.
Original pictures of the wedding were still on the walls.
We met a couple of these guys and talked with them. We go way into this Elvis thing, so we're not just making this up.
I'm all shook up. Since 1967, the room was known as the Elvis Suite. It's been cleared out now and will soon become a memory.
Ladies and gentlemen, Elvis has left the building.
And it's a good thing Elvis has left the building, because in just moments, the Aladdin is about to be leveled. Let's go back to the studio and Ken and Kathy.
Alrighty, we'll check back with you in a little bit, Michael. Thank you. Well, the Aladdin 7,000-seat amphitheater will be spared from tonight's blast.
And so too will thousands of souvenirs. In the weeks leading up to the implosion, just about everything inside the hotel was up for sale. From chandeliers to blackjack tables, pieces of the Aladdin history are now scattered all over the world. News 13's implosion coverage continues in just a moment. Our special cameras are fired up and the countdown clock is ticking. Stay with us. And you're looking at a live picture of the Aladdin Hotel and Casino from balcony cam. The building will become Las Vegas history within a matter of minutes. Welcome back to this News 13 special presentation, the Aladdin implosion.
The structure has towered over the valley now for more than 21 years. It'll take only seconds to come down. We have about 4 minutes to go. Mark Martinez, let's go back up in Live Chopper 13 with a look at all the cameras. Mark.
Well, that's right, Kathy. We've been telling you about these cameras all night long. News 13 is the only place where you'll be able to watch this from the inside as well as the outside. That camera you're looking at now is what we call roof cam. It is mounted literally on the very top of the building, but it's only one of the cameras we have throughout the rest of the building. Let's take you now live. That is roof cam live that you're looking at now. You'll be able to see the strip in the background as this building falls to the earth for the final time. Now let's take you to a live picture from the 17th floor of the hotel where we have balcony cam, which you saw just a few moments ago. This is located outside penthouse 2901 on the hotel's tower. It's facing south and should give us a real feeling of what it would be like to be up there for the big send-off. Now we want to go to hallway cam. This is also on the penthouse floor of the Aladdin, looking south, 17 stories up in the air. We're not exactly sure how long that camera will last up there with all the debris falling around it, but it will give you an excellent perspective from the inside. We also, of course, don't want to forget about Zoom Cam. This is the most powerful TV camera in the state of Nevada, so when we say we have this covered, we mean it. Now let's go down to Steve Krupe, who's near the blast zone. Steve.
Mark, we are so far into the blast zone that they have now made us take cover in a low-rise building. That's our camera shot that you saw earlier. We left the camera by itself. We hope it survives the explosive force. The dynamite loaded into several floors of the building there. The implosion engineers are now talking to each other, making sure that everything is clear. They're checking their equipment. Also, a lot of security personnel are around here. A lot of Metro bike officers circling around the property to make sure that no tourist has wandered onto the property. They have checked the building to make sure that everything is safe. And there you see it. You can see that black stripe across the top. Dynamite is loaded into that area, as well as where the black stripe is down at the bottom. The base of it is just packed with hundreds of pounds of TNT. And the way they've described some of the previous implosions is that they're going to bring this thing down the way somebody would bring down a giant tree. A tree cutter would hack at the base of a tree to make sure it falls in one direction so that it doesn't hurt anybody who might be standing around the tree, or in this case, around the base of the Aladdin. It will fall away from this shot you're looking at right here. It will fall, it will splash literally onto that tennis court area where the swimming pool and sports complex of the Aladdin Hotel used to be in operation. The building will fall towards this shot, towards the south. There you see one of the security vehicles making sure that no one goes beyond that line. Where I'm standing right now is on the direct opposite side of the hotel, down at the very base. And here's the view from the strip as hundreds of people look across the marquee touting what will become the new Aladdin, a $1.3 billion mega resort. We are now just waiting for the 1 minute mark. We'll know that very shortly when a 1 minute volley of fireworks is launched. You'll hear several sharp bangs. There will be no large firework display until after the blast occurs. As soon as we hear those fireworks, we know we are just 1 minute away. We're listening in now.
Are you clear? Tom is clear. Jamie, are you clear? I'm clear.
So far it sounds like everything looks good. Our cameras on the building are ready to go. The equipment that will detonate the dynamite is being warmed up.
Donald Steger, are you clear? Yes, I'm clear. Chuck Wilton, are you clear? Chuck Wilton is clear. Okay, CDI, we're giving the command for the salute 1 minute out.
Here we go. We're 1 minute away. We'll hear some fireworks being launched very shortly now. They won't produce much of a burst in the air. They are simply a loud bang to alert everyone that the implosion is 1 minute away.
Hold up, Stacy. We've got people that are still coming out of the...
There's the view from roof cam. Apparently, one of the implosion engineers noticed some people wandering in an area where they are not supposed to be. That accounts for the slight pause before those 1 minute fireworks are launched.
Jamie Partridge, are we clear? No, we are not clear, Jim.
Apparently, as you heard, that the implosion engineers say we are not quite yet clear. Everything looks fairly good, but apparently a couple of people are wandering where they are not supposed to be. You see all those areas where the building has been cleared out around the base of it. No one is allowed in there.
We're going to hold until we get the people out of the sign mark.
Okay, apparently that's the situation. We are holding until some people are out. Perhaps we can check in with Mark Martinez high above the scene to find out. Mark Martinez, do you see anyone up there who shouldn't be in the area?
Well, Steve, it's a bit hard to tell with all that debris, obviously, around the base of the Aladdin. This is all of the stuff that they took out and threw out of the windows, so it's hard to tell, and you can imagine why they would want to make sure everyone was out of this area. It is a bit difficult, but one thing we can tell you that might help them find anyone if they are in the blast zone. Metro's police helicopter is equipped with an infrared device that can sense heat, and they are down there now flying around at a very low level, looking for exactly this type of situation to make sure this did not happen. Of course, this is what everyone is afraid of, and that is why they take these security precautions. You can see on your screen now security people around the hotel. So Metro's police helicopter is down there indeed looking for anyone if they are in that area, and hopefully they will be able to get those people out of there very soon so we can resume this countdown.
All right, thank you very much, Mark. So everyone is waiting. We're getting more reports now on the situation as we await.
Are you clear? Tom is clear. Bond to land, are you clear? Jim? Donald Steger, are you clear? Yep, I'm clear. Chuck Wilton, are you clear? Clear.
They're talking to people who are stationed on literally every corner of this property. Different people who have different responsibilities, making sure that everything at their station looks safe. Metro police officers as well, keeping a view on the situation. And there it is, the hotel tower. It stands 17 stories tall, and it is 21 years old, almost 22 years old, and they've given the okay now for the 1 minute salute, the volley of fireworks, which we should hear in just a second. And there we go. Three salutes. That means we're 1 minute away. There's almost no turning back now. And when we get down close to zero, you'll hear a countdown, a 10-second countdown. They'll give us additional warnings.
Go ahead and warm up the blasting machine and tell me when you're in the red.
The blasting machine is connected to about 800 pounds of explosives loaded throughout the building. That hallway will crumble. The balcony will crumble. Those pillars, we have no idea really how well our cameras will last in this. Here we go. Here we go.
8, 7, 6.
And the blasts.
direction that I can see it. Paul. Cool, no fire up here. Terrific.
And there you heard it. The blast engineer saying no problem with the implosion. And so, with the destructive force of 800 pounds of dynamite, the Aladdin has been extinguished. 3 decades of history are now only dust and memories, and the huge dust cloud billowing forth. Mark Martinez in Live Chopper 13, how does it look from up there?
Steve, it looks amazing from up here. As we come to our shot with zoom cam, you can see it looks really like a forest fire almost, as you can see that dust cloud beginning to move. It looks like it is moving towards the south, and I am told now that we still have some of the cameras that rode the building down, and of course we will be bringing you those pictures just as soon as we can. But again, look at that dust cloud, that tremendous amount of dust as the Aladdin came to rest on the desert floor down there. It's quite amazing, and there's another picture, Steve. So quite an amazing sight. I wonder how the people down there are faring with all that dust. Of course, it isn't making its way up to us here in Live Chopper 13 yet. Steve, how's it looking down there from your angle?
Well, Mark, I am totally enveloped in dust right now, and here go the fireworks to celebrate the end of the Aladdin. News 13's Ted Texter has been monitoring how the winds are blowing out here and how that might affect where all this dust is going. Ted?
We have a very light wind, and the dust clouds appear to be spreading out very evenly. Look at the top of the plume, and you can see what the winds are doing there. Really not very much. It looks like it may begin to move over towards the Monte Carlo or the Holiday Inn. Looking from Live Chopper, I can see again, the plume is continuing to spread out very evenly. And of course, the fireworks are adding to all of the spectacular sight down here. Steve Krupe.
Thank you, Ted. If my voice sounds a little muffled, that's because I am enveloped in a huge cloud of dust. I have a filter mask on right now, and it's very hard to breathe where I am standing right now.
Okay. Steve, of course, that particulate matter, it's very, very fine dust, and it's not good for your lungs. And that's why everybody around the area has been provided with filter masks. And you may need an extra one there because yours will clog up eventually. So breathe very easily, relax as much as you can, and don't breathe any more than you have to. Steve, you there?
I am, Ted. These fireworks should last for another couple of minutes as the Aladdin arises anew in a couple of years when they build a $1.3 billion mega resort. So they are celebrating the disappearance of the old and the building of the new all over Las Vegas. And
Steve, I'd estimate that the plume now is spreading out. In fact, you can see in the middle it's sinking, and that indicates that we've got a real stable atmosphere over us. It's spreading out. Steve, back to you.
All right, Ted. Let's just sit back and enjoy, and perhaps as we do so, we'll see some replays of the implosion that we all just experienced out here. This was the view from our exclusive balcony cam. As the charges went off, a shudder went through the building. We could feel it. I could feel the charges in my gut, the force of the explosion. There you see the camera rocking. Oh. And there it went, I guess, before we lost our camera picture. Balcony cam from the 17th floor penthouse. And there's the Bellagio, the hotel that's going up in the place of the Dunes. We had 2 towers imploded at the Dunes in 1993. Dunes 1, Dunes 2. Bellagio opens October 15th. And that's the view from the Polo Towers. And here's our exclusive roof cam as the building literally fell out from underneath our camera. And there it goes.
It's quite unbelievable. The building is completely destroyed, obviously. And normally when an implosion happens, we can at least see part of the building. But we can see this entire building is just destroyed. There's just gray debris really left down there. The fireworks display, of course, still going on. Not much other than that. A lot of people just still enjoying the view down there, looking at the fireworks that are going on. It is quite amazing. Now, we want to go to our hallway cam. You're looking at that now. Let's see what this camera view looks like. You're looking right down the hall from the penthouse suite on the 17th floor of the Aladdin, room 2901, at the time of the implosion. Again, just one of many cameras we had on board for the implosion. We saw that roof cam made it out okay, and so did balcony cam. And as we see with hallway cam, hopefully we'll have something from hallway cam back. But again, it's an amazing sight, and you can see the fireworks display still going on up here, Steve. That cloud of smoke seems to be dispersing quite a bit, as you can see with zoom cam, and I'm sure it blanketed quite a few people down there with dust, but it is making its way out west right now at this point, and seems to be lifting from the ground just a bit.
That is the view from ground zero as the charges went off, and then down comes the Aladdin. Other than the cameras on the building, that view was just about as close as any camera was permitted to get. And this is the huge dust cloud which still exists. The fireworks were obscured to quite a degree, and I am standing still in part of this cloud back behind that little low-rise building you see on the right side of the... And that's the view from live Chopper 13. Wow. I have one of the implosion engineers here standing next to me. He says that view was just awesome. He can't wait until the rest of his team sees the shot from zoom cam. News 13's Robin Burke had an incredible view from the VIP viewing area. Robin, how did it look from your vantage point?
Steve, we did have an absolutely incredible view, totally unobstructed, but the dust didn't come our way. We are thankful to say, although we were prepared in our ponchos. Right now I have a couple of friends with me who witnessed it, and they are going to explain what it was like. What did you think?
I thought it was really great because they had a big finish at the end, and they had fireworks before and after it was implosions.
Obviously never seen anything like this before, have you, Luke?
Nope.
Did you like it?
Yep.
Want to see another one?
Yep.
You might have to wait a while, I do believe. Everyone here was prepared, but the dust just didn't come our way. It was fantastic. Oh, wait a minute, I have one more little friend. How was it?
Good.
Good? Want to see it again?
Yes.
Okay, well, you'll have to watch the reruns on Channel 13, okay? Back to you, Steve.
Let's come back upstairs now, if we can, to live Chopper 13 and show you the view from again with zoom cam. Steve was telling us the shot was awesome, and indeed it was. In fact, it was a very unusual angle that zoom cam had on this whole event, but you can see nothing left of the building. It's gone tonight, and the new Aladdin will arise again in this very same spot with the same name. We understand Steve Krupe is back down, still on the ground. Steve, we are checking out the scene from high above. It looks like they still have the strip closed off and probably will for quite a while.
Well, Mark, one of the benefits from where you are is you are above all this dust. I am a mess. Our camera is a mess, and it seems to have floated towards the north end of the building, and we are still enveloped in a very fine mist. What is left of the Aladdin is literally hanging in the air right now. My clothes covered in Aladdin dust. So there you have it. There you have it, the Aladdin. Its final moments, it was quite dramatic indeed. Still fireworks, helicopters buzzing around over top. The view from our various cameras. This was the view from the Country Star down on the strip level. The view that was had from that place was enjoyed by News 13's Michael Gieser. Michael, how did you enjoy it?
Well, that wasn't too bad, Steve, and the spectators who gathered out here, I think, echo the same sentiments. And as far as the dust that came from the building, we are located at the southwest corner of the building, and almost as if the dust had directions, it went right down Harmon over I-15 and never came into the parking lot. So very few people even put the masks over their face. Now, some of the spectators have stayed around, and Sean joins us now. Sean, what did you think of this implosion?
I think it was a lot faster than I thought it'd be, but it was pretty cool.
Yeah, and you said you've seen an implosion before, but not in person.
Yeah, I saw the Hacienda on TV last year.
So is this a spectator sport that you have to be there in person for?
I think it's a spectator sport, yeah.
Yeah, and in Las Vegas, it certainly has become a sport with buildings falling down almost every year. Let's go back to Steve Krupe.
All right, thank you, Michael. Again, we're still waiting for this cloud to dissipate. Quite an incredible scene out here. It's the kind of thing that we've gone through on all the previous implosions. We know the dust cloud comes, and it literally takes days for them to clean up all the rubble that is created by the implosion. Some of the concrete from the hotel will simply be trucked off to a landfill. Parts of it will actually be recycled to become part of new projects that are going up in Las Vegas. But it is a tedious process that literally begins as soon as everyone clears out from here, as the cleanup crews come in to take it all away. News 13's Mark Sayer and Allison McCarthy had another incredible view. Mark and Allie, what was it like?
Well, from the 14th floor of the Polo Towers, Allison, you described it as poetic. This is the first time you've witnessed an implosion
in person.
What'd you think?
It really is different. You know, I've seen 5 on camera back in the studio, but to be here and to hear it, it is so loud. And I'm sure the demolition crews have their own way of describing it. It would look pretty flawless from up here, but it was graceful, absolutely graceful. Let's give you another view as it happened. This is what we call collapse cam here. Just one of our 22 different cameras that captured the implosion as it occurred.
This camera actually mounted on the outside of the building to ride the building down. What happens when the picture freezes like that, that means that the cable that connected our camera down to the broadcast facilities was cut at that point, perhaps a blast down below. I want to point out one more very interesting thing. The sign of the Aladdin tonight says, "Out of the dust, Aladdin arises anew, see you in 2000." And quite literally from this position, a whole bunch of hotels that we could never see, such as the Mirage, all of a sudden appeared. Literally in about 15 seconds. It's almost like a whole new city came up just out of the nowhere. Let's show you one more view. This is the view that we had from the balcony. This is what we witnessed. The whole thing took about 15 seconds tops from the time we heard the massive thunderous rumble of the initial charges to the time that it collapsed, and you can see the dust there being ricocheted off the tennis courts.
What a tribute to the demolition crew, because to be able to explode a building of that magnitude and do it so controlled like that. And we just like to say we're feeling very fortunate that none of that dust has come our way.
Yeah. Glad to see that you got it this year, Steve. So Ken and Kathy, that's the situation from the Polo Towers. A very impressive view we had. Back to you.
A lot of impressive views.
Oh,
that was just
awestruck.
amazing, wasn't it?
I'm sitting here applauding in the studio.
Yeah, well, all of those memories just gone in seconds.
The memories, yes, but they do live on in the people's hearts and in their minds. The implosion went off finally without a hitch. We want to give you another look at that. The building sort of caved in and then gave way to the pressure, and it collapsed. More replays when we come back for this special edition of News 13, the Aladdin implosion. And you are looking right now at a live shot from Live Chopper 13 and Zoom Cam. That is all that is left right now of the Aladdin. At approximately 7:27 this evening, the Aladdin Hotel and Casino, as we knew it, is no longer standing on the east side of the Strip.
All 17 stories came down in just a matter of seconds, and a lot of people had gathered down on the Strip and all around tonight to see the implosion, and News 13's Michael Gieser was in the middle of them all. Michael, how was it?
Well, Ken, as you know, this has become a major spectator sport Resort in Las Vegas, watching implosions, and tonight was no different. We're at the Country Star restaurant in the back parking lot where quite a few people gathered to watch this event, and one of them is right here with his own video camera. Sir, what's your name?
Bob Lafkin.
Bob, how did it look through your video camera?
I was lucky that I got it because I thought the fireworks were going to be first. And I heard the booms going off where they were doing each floor, and then I clicked it on and I got it.
Can you show us a little bit of this?
Sure.
Why don't you describe it while you play it back?
Oh, it was pretty smooth. You ready?
Go for it.
All right. Yeah, I heard the booms as they went up every floor, and I centered it, and then it came down.
Were you surprised at how well this came out on your videotape?
Yeah, actually, because I've been to just about every one of them out here. I missed the Hacienda one, but I've been to most of them, and I usually screw it up. But this one came out pretty good.
Well, good work, Bob. Appreciate the time. There you go. People out here getting their own videotape to save for memories, and that is what the Aladdin is at this moment, a memory. Mark, Allison, back to you.
So I guess ultimately we can say we had 23 cameras, 22 that we provided and one that the gentleman that Mike Easer provided.
What a view it was from the 14th floor here at the Polo Towers. And if you look between Mark and myself here, we talk about how every time we bring a building down, the entire skyscape of the Strip changes, and it will never be the same again. Yes, they will build again, but this is the view from Live Chopper as that building goes down. Again, one of the best angles I think that we brought you was Live Chopper. Let's take a listen to what the crowd was saying at the time that building went down.
Some of the shots that we got, you do see all the camera flashes, literally thousands of people taking pictures all at the exact same moment. It's like you're at a concert or something to see those rapid fires all in those 8 seconds.
Let's take a look now at balcony cam. We've got so many different angles to bring to you. This one right there, I believe it was on the 17th floor. As you can see, that camera, it hung with us for a little while there. You can see the pillars give way, and then the camera shot just freezes as we lost our connection.
You also get a sense as to just how violent this is. The folks at CDI, Controlled Demolition, who did this, it is truly tremendous, their art, but it is a violent process inside.
But it is an art. It's amazing that you put it that way.
Let's go back down to Steve Krupe now, who's in the blast zone. Steve, you recovering from all that dust?
The dust is still out here. I've still got my mask on. I'm almost choking because of all the dust in my lungs right now. And even though the hotel is dust, a lot of souvenirs survive, including this. It's covered with a lot of dust right now. But it says room 2901. And that is the suite up at the top of the hotel where we had one of our cameras. And this was the view inside room 2901, the penthouse suite on the 17th floor, as the hotel experienced its final checkout. The collapse began on the western end of the building and moved towards the east. We saw it fall there. And that's it, the final night of the Aladdin. News 13's Robin Burke is still in the VIP tent. Robin, take it away.
Just outside the VIP tent, and I want to ask you a quick question. You were inside, you didn't get dusty whatsoever. What did you think?
Oh, it was fantastic just to watch the thing just go down like a ballet. It just floated down. It was wonderful. Yes.
You could feel it. Could you feel it inside?
We couldn't feel any air rush or anything like that.
Booms.
The booms, yes, and the noise. I'm from California. It's an earthquake country, so I thought, my goodness, this is like a gigantic one. But it was wonderful.
Thank you very much. Like an earthquake, and I heard another young man out here say it was something like out of a science fiction movie. Let me show you the rubble if we can just pan over here real quick. The rubble from the back side of the Aladdin, it's still a good 3 stories tall. Wouldn't want to have to clean up that mess. So as it comes tumbling down, it's not actually leveled. It will still be some time before they're able to do that. Back to you at the studio.
lot of cleanup.
We understand as many as 70 trucks a day, and this could go as long as 3 weeks.
For weeks, right.
It's cleaned up.
And of course, not all implosions go as smoothly as the one tonight. When the Hacienda came down, you may remember, on New Year's Eve in 1996, part of the hotel survived that blast.
Certainly did. When the dust cleared, the mishap was pretty obvious, and it wasn't until the next day that the tail end of the tower was demolished. About 10% of the hotel had to be toppled by a wrecking ball. The Hacienda was apparently a very sturdy structure. Don't go away. News 13's coverage of tonight's implosion continues with more incredible pictures in just a moment. This is a live street-level shot of what was left right now of the Aladdin. After 32 years of towering over the Strip, within seconds, the Aladdin Tower was ripped to shreds.
Now all that's left is a lot of concrete, metal, and dust, and the crews are going to be sorting through that debris looking for recyclables, and as many as 70 trucks a day will haul away the remnants to the landfill. Right now, News 13 Steve Krupe is still on the ground in the middle
Inside
of all
the
the
blast
dust.
zone,
Hopefully where it's clearing up a little bit. Steve?
Ken and Kathy, you mentioned all that dust. There's still a lot of it in the air, and a lot of it all over all of us out here. They offered us ponchos. We refused, though, just for demonstration purposes. Take a look at what is left, though. This is the pile of rubble. The haze of the Aladdin sits over it. And we saw some trucks pulling in already. People who are going to begin the cleanup procedure are already rolling in, and they've got a lot of work ahead of them tonight and over the next couple of days. News 13's Mark Martinez is high above in a dust-free environment. Mark, take it away.
Well, that's right, Steve. Speaking of cleanup, the street sweepers have just moved on to the Strip at about Harmon. They are heading northbound. They have to get the Strip all cleaned up before they can reopen it to anyone. We understand they also were making sure that there were no gas lines severed or anything like that during the implosion. And so now they are going to make sure that it is all clean. Now we have a new view, I am told, to show you of this implosion, one we have not seen before. This is, of course, looking at the Strip from the Luxor, an amazing view. And you know, Steve, people have described this building as floating down, and really that's what it looked like. It sort of gently came down to rest and then disappeared in that big dust cloud. And it's that exact dust cloud that is causing so many problems tonight for the cleanup crews. Of course, they're pretty much used to this. They've done this before, and they will do it again, no doubt. But for right now, the Strip is still closed down between Harmon and Flamingo, and it's going to be kind of difficult getting out of here for the people who came out to see this. But still, I think they got their money's worth. A spectacular view tonight, Steve.
All right, thank you very much, Mark Martinez in Live Chopper 13. I think he wins the award for the best shot of the night, no question about it. Zoom cam was awesome. A big thanks also to the folks at Master Video Consultants. They provided the cameras on the building, and the guys at NextLink, they provided the fiber optics that allowed us to transmit our photos. Here's another angle centered up on the upper half of the building. A slow motion shot of it coming down. You can see the west end of it dipped in first, and then it kind of rippled towards the east. That's it from the blast zone. Let's go back into the studio and Ken and Kathy.
So he can clean up and maybe take a shower.
I bet he's ready for one. Boy, that is an incredible sight tonight.
Amazing.
And we are out of time. We want to thank you for taking time to watch the special edition of News 13.
The Aladdin Hotel is history, and News 13 will be sure to keep you updated on all the new developments with the new property there. We're going to leave you tonight with highlights from tonight's event.
Good night.
It's a weird feeling, a little bit scary, knowing that what you're standing on right now won't be here tomorrow. It's hard to see a piece of Las Vegas history and nostalgia come down.